La paix et la grâce de Dieu sont avec vous tous. Moi, dis bonjour ou bonsoir à tout le monde qui suit l'émission Masgiver jeudi qui c'est samedi 30 mai 2026. Non pas, c'est Jameson Jean-Baptiste, votre serviteur, qui va le passer avant durée de 2 heures à 3 heures de temps pour nous capables ensemble évacuer à la prière, chanter pour nous capables manger ensemble la parole de Dieu. C'est un réel plaisir pour nous capables ensemble aujourd'hui à l'émission ça et quel que soit côté où suivre l'émission, nous saluons dans la langue pauvre. Ce sont chrétiens, nous donnons la paix. Si vous pouvez connaître Christ comme Seigneur Sauveur, nous donnons bonjour ou bonsoir, dépendamment de l'heure qui va suivre l'émission ça. Nous connaissons comme d'habitude pas gagner nous capables de faire sans la prière. C'est peut-être ça nous invitons ensemble, nous capables d'incliner pour nous chercher présence Seigneur dans l'émission Masgiver aujourd'hui. Céleste Père, au nom de Jésus, nous bénissons, nous disons merci, nous rendons gloire, hommage, exaltation Seigneur, même seul. Merci Père Saint pour tout ce fait et ça continuer à faire dans la vie. Nous ne pas bien bouquer d'où. Merci Seigneur pour gloire Seigneur, compassion. Nous rendons dans la vie. Si vous avez compassion pour nous Seigneur, malgré ça, nous, comment nous t'avons fait là? Mais Seigneur, pour gloire nous, Seigneur, pas parce que nous faisons rien qui est bon, et pas parce que nous faisons rien qui est agréable là ou même, mais nous permettre nous capables de camper toujours Seigneur et à vivre. Seigneur, nous demandons pardon de tout péché, nous, Père Saint, nous demandons béni émission, Seigneur. Utilisez langue, nous, Seigneur, corps, nous, tout corps, nous, et permettre que nous capables de possession, Seigneur, toute vie, nous, tout nous-mêmes, tout être, nous, Seigneur. Pour nous capables, oh Dieu, servir comme un bon serviteur. Même Jean a utilisé Samuel. On va parler parmi nous, par moi et nous-mêmes, Seigneur. On va utiliser nous, on va utiliser langue nous. Et on va permettre, Père Saint, parole, capable de toucher cœur. Sanctifiez nous, Père Saint, et chacun de nous, Seigneur, qui est autour de table, ça, Seigneur. Et que l'Esprit au Père Saint est capable de verser grâce en abondance sur nous. Au nom de Jésus, nous t'en prions. Amen. Nous comptons en pile pour nous capables ensemble aujourd'hui dans l'émission Masgiver. Encore, c'est serviteur Jameson Jean-Baptiste. Derrière micro, nous comptons, c'est un réel plaisir pour nous avoir aujourd'hui, qui c'est 30 mai 2026. Il y a un pile de monde qui débute l'année avec pas là encore. Il y a qui arrivé au mois de mai, il y a qui mourir dans la minute même. Si Seigneur a fait grâce, au capable de lever mon en l'air. Si Seigneur a fait grâce, au capable de souquer corps. Ça, c'est pas un monde qui a viré. C'est un moment, une occasion pour profiter pour dire Seigneur merci. Parce que il y a des gens dans la minute, ça, c'est le monde qui a viré. Tout corps paralysé. Il n'y a pas qu'à faire rien, même manger, il n'y a pas qu'à mettre dans la bouche. Il y a des gens qui sont dans le tube, qui ont mangé dans la minute. Ça. Mais au même Seigneur a fait grâce. Il n'y a pas de tube dans le ventre. Au besoin de dire bon Dieu merci, nous te reconnaissance. Nous voulons débuter l'émission avec un chant et nous avons tourné de quelques minutes. Et pour tout le monde qui suit l'émission aujourd'hui, a fait d'une façon spéciale, j'aime dire, parce que nous avons fait émission plus fort en anglais. Et nous avons battu pour nous, j'aime dire, flip-flap, créole, mais nous avons fait émission majorité là-dedans en anglais. Si c'est un monde qui parle créole, on est capable toujours brancher parce que en pile haïtien parle plusieurs langues, parle ni anglais, ni français, et aussi bien créole. Et on va partager l'émission tout avec tout le monde qui suit, tout le monde qui suit l'émission, qui partager l'émission avec tout le monde qui est en contact, et permettre que parole bon Dieu capable publier partout. On nous propose musicale. Nous allons retourner joindre de quelques minutes.
calvaire fait que content. Sacrifice sous calvaire vient nettoyer. Bon Dieu délivre en bas péché. Pape Jean Rivet dit ça, yeah.
Moi béni non mon Dieu pour Jean bon. Malgré Jean moi de saluer la paix. Même si ta chanté pour tout temps vivant. Pape Jean Rivet dit ça, yeah.
Okay, if you're watching this program in Creole, and I'm sorry, you're a Creole speaker or French speaker, as I said at in the beginning, today we're gonna try our best to carry almost, I would say, like a 3/4 of the program in English. We're gonna try our best. English is not our primary language, but we're gonna do our best to kind of work on this topic because there is a lot of issues going on right now with this subject. So if you speak Creole, stay with us. I know a lot of people who speak Creole, they also speak English, and you'll be able to be part of this program and comment. You can comment. I will be able to see your comment. If something you disagree with, you can also comment. There is no hard feeling. There is no issue with that. But we're gonna carry this program in English and mostly, and we're gonna bounce left and right and between English and Creole, so everybody understand and what we're talking about. The subject today is silence. It's not fear, and I know a lot of us live this reality where people mistaking silence for fear, or as act of weakness. And today we are going to talk about silence. Silence. How a word can be seen differently and misinterpreted in the vocabulary of bully. There are millions of people who daily have been targeted by the so-called bully, who feel that they are entitled or they are in control of everything. These soft-hearted people go home every day, absorbed like a sponge until they are completely full. And if you have not been a target, or if you are a target, this program is for you. You are not alone. Don't think you're the only person dealing with this kind of reality every day or wherever you go. You're not alone. There is millions of people who have been targeted for the same reason. And today you should learn more about strength and character. The risk of suicide increase significantly each year. It is the third leading cause of death among young people. Over 4,400, if I want to say 4,400 deaths per year. These people, they are so vulnerable and have been taken advantage of. Most of the time, these are the people you see almost every day. Most of the time they are quiet. They are not open. They also distance themselves from others. Always distance themselves. Don't get me wrong though. Adults also experience the same thing. It's not just like a young kids who experience this kind of problem. Also, adults are more likely. Adults also develop that kind of problem. Face this kind of reality. But the difference between adult and a young kid or a child, adults are more likely to develop what you call a shield of protection better than the youth because of life experience. You know, people who's already in the 40s and the 30s have more experience than a child, you know, that's only 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, 18. You know, you've seen a lot more in life than these kids because there's things they have not experienced yet. And when they face this kind of reality, they don't know how to behave. They don't know how to control themselves. They don't know who to talk. Sometimes they go silent. You know, sometimes they don't have a friend to talk to. They just go silence. You know, and they kind of like isolate themselves. They don't talk to people. They stay in the room. They don't want to be part of the outside world because of this kind of issue. So you're not alone. There's millions of people dealing with the same kind of reality. And that's exactly our topic today, our subject today. Silence is not fear. The kids, they're not open to talk about what they experience inside of their home, in school. You know, they kind of holding it inside. You know, sometimes you can put pressure on a kid and say, what exactly happened? What's wrong with you? You went to school very happy and you come back home and your face changed and you don't seem too happy. What's going on? What happened in school? And sometimes it's this kind of issue or problem they experience in school with other kids. And, you know, they feel like the best way to control themselves is to go silence. Not talking about the reality. And sometimes it's good to go silence. Yes. And sometimes it's also good to face the reality you want. Because remember, I don't wanna jump to what we're gonna be talking. So when either way, there's a consequence. You don't have to trust everyone. You don't even have to trust most people. But you also don't have to live behind a wall built from someone else's failure. You can protect yourself and stay open to the possibility of real connection. Slowly, carefully, and on your own term. You may want to rebuild trust, or if you feel safer staying close for now, that's fine. You may ask yourself, and I know a lot of us ask that question, would people take my kindness for fear to disrespect me? A lot of us ask this question. I ask that question myself. You know, either you go to work, either you go to church, or you go to you are around your friend, you know, your family, or some kind of you went to some kind of adventure, wherever you are, and you face this kind of reality. The first question that you ask yourself, because you stay who you are, you don't try to transition yourself based on these people's behavior. You try to remain calm. You try to remain silent. But at the same time, you feel hurt. At the same time, feel abused mentally. And you don't want to talk about it. And you went to silence completely. We all ask that question. You know, when I give respect to people, I treat every single person with respect. It doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, if you went to school, if you never go to school. It doesn't matter. Everyone deserves the same respect. It doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States, or you're poor, or you're homeless living on the street. All the same human being. You know, you have a spirit inside of you. We are breathing the same air. So why treat others different than others? Everybody should be treated equally. But sometimes you do that for others. And the question you ask yourself, why I don't get that in return? Why people treat me differently? Why am I'm not getting the same kind of respect I give? And you ask yourself that question too. And you do not understand why. Every day you ask why, and you can ever get a response. You can ever get an answer. People take your kindness for fear. They take your kindness for weakness. Because they don't understand the difference between a gentle heart and a bad one. And that misunderstanding says far more about them than it does about you. Let me break this down in a way that actually makes sense of what you're experiencing. In other words, reveal themselves more. That's all. That's all. When you've been bullying and you stay silent, you don't talk. You know, the person disrespect you. You could have used the same word or the same sentence to fire back. You don't do the same thing. And you probably feel guilty, or you feel that, man, if I stay like that forever, people always gonna step on my toes or step on me. I got to react. I got to do something. You don't have to lower yourself to the same level they lower themselves. You don't have to. We are not the same people with the same behavior. Everybody choose their own behavior for what fit them, but doesn't really mean that you have to act like them. When you stay silent, let me tell you what people see. They see weakness. Excuse me. They see you as a target. Unleash their anger, sometimes coming from home, family, workplace, church, or their neighborhood, etc. As these people can be a bigger prey for them to attack. Most the time, they choose their own prey. And you can be a victim sometime of the disrespect. Let me give you a simple example. Watching the Oscar won a couple years ago, and I watched a successful actor slap another one who was performing in that occasion as a comedian. And the other one still and did not react. What does that teach you? Who is the weak one? I want to ask you those two questions. A great actor, as we all know that story. He was in live TV, went on a stage and slapped another actor, and also a comedian. And guess what? The other one did not show the same behavior, which he could, but he did not do that himself to that level. So now, if you want to comment on this matter, what does that teach you? And based on your view, the weak one, the weak one is the one that gets slapped? One who slapped the other one. You know, everyone could have different view on that matter. Believe me, the only and real and perfect view is the one, not view, the best reflection, the best answer you could give is the one that was slapped. He's the strong one. The weak one, you may feel that, oh, he feels strong, you know, maybe he's working out, maybe he's got a great body, built with muscles, and everybody sees that he's strong, that's why he can act that way. No. Greatness does not come from money, relation, or fame. You can have all the money in the world, being at the highest, and be a bully and an embarrassment. Being strong is not showing what you're capable, but self-control. Very often, these vulnerable people are seen as the most respected person. Respect, even though they get nothing in return. That is true. That is true. If you this kind of person, look deep inside of it, and or remember how many times people just take you. even though you show them respect? How many people treat you like a trash when you treat them like a person? What can you get that back? Some people mistake kindness for softness. When you treat people with patience, respect, and generosity, they assume you won't push back because they believe your silence is a sign of fear. And it's not true. It isn't true. Not because you treat somebody with respect or you're patient. That make you fear the person. It is the right thing to do. Everyone should treat others with respect. The other thing, whenever you do that, you treat people with patience, respect, and generosity, they believe that you won't set the boundaries, because you're too afraid that they would retaliate. Third thing is, they know that you won't call out disrespect. I'm sorry. You won't call out disrespect. Because they know, for them, they think you don't want to win because they always win anyway. And friend to back them up, they always have connection or know somebody. That is their philosophy. They're gonna win. Because even if you try to say something, the voice only will cover you. You don't have a say. That's why people like that break the in maturity unto your character. But your kindness exposes the lack of character. Let me explain. If somebody is talking to me, yelling at me, screaming at me, like trash, saying all kind of bad word to show me disrespect, to put me down, and I stay quiet, and I don't act the same way he's acting, and I don't even say a word, I show you. Everybody's gonna look at that person, hey, man, there is a lot of emptiness, darkness inside of you. That's why they see lack of character. And also, another thing you need to know, that disrespect comes from people who don't know how to value what's rare. If I go out and I see that, and I see like 25 cents or a dime on the floor, I may not pick it up. Why? What 25 cents or what a dime will do for me? Life's so expensive, Maybe like 20, 30 years ago, a dime could buy something. Now, if you take a dime to a store, you can get nothing because life gets expensive. Maybe I would ignore the dime on the floor, on the ground. But if I'm walking and I see a piece of gold on the ground, even though it isn't money, I'm going to pick that up. Why? Because it's a gold. I can sell that for a lot of money. That's what we need to understand. Some people disrespect you because they don't know the value of when someone show you respect, when someone treats you with respect. and honor. They don't know that. They don't know. They don't know if something right. If you go out in the street right now, excuse me, how many people do you see? If something would happen, would stand for you. Right now, you're living in a time that the whole world is changing. What used to be good now is bad. What used to be bad now is good. That's the way people see things. Now people have done all kind of stupid things, and you see all applaud them. They're laughing. Things that before, when you see it on TV, you would get on your knee and start crying. But now people love this thing. The world is changing. It's not the same anymore. It will never be the same. So when you go out and you see people doing good things to others, that's something you need to honor. That's something you need to take pride of and love and follow and do the same, because they are aware. They're not. It's not. These are not things you see so often. But these people, they don't see it that way. Kindness is not common. It's not common. Integrity is not common. Loyalty is not common. When someone with a small heart meets someone with a big heart, they often take advantage. They test the limit. They push the boundary. And I assume that they won't leave, but they don't realize that quiet people can walk away without warning. Yeah, because when someone breaks silence and become like a sponge, you all have kitchen and use a sponge to wash dishes, and you know exactly what exactly happened when you put some water. He absorbed the water. You put some soap. He absorbed the soap, and then you use that to wash it. So sometimes a lot of these people, you would compare them like a sponge. They take. And they feel that they can take, but they never, ever think of how to respond, because they feel that silence is the greatest force they can ever have. Your kindness, for what people would take it for, is not a problem. No, your kindness is not the problem. The perception is the problem. You are not being disrespected because you're kind, but you've been disrespected because they lack the maturity to understand kindness without exploiting it. A strong person who chooses kindness is more powerful than a loud person who chooses aggression. You are not weak, my friend. You're not. You're in control. The deeper truth, people fear what they don't understand. Some people feel that you're calm, your self-control, your ability to stay composed, your refusal to match the chaos. So they try to provoke you or diminish you to feel bigger. That's exactly what a bully does every day. But your silence is not fear. Your kindness is not fear. Your patience is not fear. It's discipline, my friend. My brother, discipline. Because you know how to control yourself. You're not like them with a big mouth. And whatever comes out, they don't process it. They don't even have time to understand exactly the severity, the weight of the word coming out of the mouth. They don't weigh that. It just slip out. Because even though they show you they have a brain, it doesn't seem like they're using it. That's the way bully people act. Because the brain, they're not using the brain. The only thing that's in the head is targeting the one they believe are weak. And they're not weak. Because they are controlled. They know how to behave. They know how to control themselves. The bully, they don't. They can talk, and be very loud. And at the end, if they choose someone who would act the same way, they're ready to fight. They are ready to take it any further you would want to. And that's the way they act. But your kindness is not fear. Don't ever doubt it. Don't ever think that because you stay silent and people keep stepping on you, people keep taking you as a trash. Even in your own house, the way your family treats you, even a husband can be a bully. You never go to some homes and you see the way the husband treat the wife, the way the wife treat the husband. That's very serious. It's not just when you go somewhere and you meet a stranger and you feel that that person, even at school, at work, and that person's gonna be a real bully in your life. No, a bully can be someone close to you, someone you know, someone you share things together, someone who knew your past life and who you used to lean on, count on, love, and now turn against you and become your real enemy and become a bully and make your life miserable. If you don't know how to control yourself, that person's gonna destroy you. A bully doesn't have to come far away. It can be someone you know, someone within. Would you imagine that you go to work with all the stress going on, everything's going on, the work that you have to carry every day, some people use the brain more to work, some people do physical work. It depends. But you go to work, it's already stressful, right? Then you come home, you don't even want to drive from work to home because you know exactly what's waiting for you at home. You know exactly what's gonna happen when you get home. Or your husband, instead of say, "Hey, honey, how was your day?" and start taking your bags, your stuff, and help you get in the house, give you a hug, and show you love and affection, right? No, you getting into your own home and you worrying exactly what's gonna happen to me, how my husband gonna treat me, the words will be that's gonna come out of his mouth. They're heavy enough to break me down. And that's why sometimes a lot of people, they've done crazy things. Staying quiet is your instinct. Not because you're afraid, but because you control. And you don't want to lower yourself to the level of people who thrive on conflict. Some people, that's all they do. If they go to work, that's why if you're watching this program with me, please make sure that you, excuse me, got a cough. Forgive me. Make sure that you're watching the video that I put behind me on the screen. And the reason I put the video is so you understand exactly. Sometimes some animal, they choose exactly who the prey will be. They can't choose any prey because they know what they can encounter, what can happen to them. what the consequence will be. They know that. That's why they carefully choose to pray. A lot of people sometimes, they choose carefully because they know you're silent. They know you're quiet. They know you will not respond. And they target you because you easy prey. You know, they can turn you over, they can break you, they can disrespect you, they can treat you whatever they, tell you whatever they want, because they know you're not going to fight back, and you're so easy to become a prey, and they pick you. And that's why you see some animals, they choose who to be the prey. And sometimes when they make the mistake, it can cost them their life. It can cost them their lives. And you see, people do the same thing. They do the same thing. But let me tell you something. Silence protects your peace, but it also teaches. I'm going to repeat again. Silence protects your peace, but it also teaches the wrong people that you'll tolerate anything. It's good. It is good to remain silent. It's not good to blah, blah, blah. You know, even if you come to your home, your husband, blah, 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 and then you start doing the same thing, blah, blah, and the house set on fire. No. You go to work, the same thing, blah, 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 and you do the same thing. Guess what? Both of you get in fight, and you both get fired. It is good to remain calm. It is good to remain silent. But sometimes the wrong person, especially these bullies, they interpret silence as a sign of weakness. And a sign that you can tolerate anything. And they take the advantage to abuse you. Let me break down what really happened when you stay quiet. Because it is then just not wanting drama. I know that. Some people don't like that. Thanks God, He gave me a wonderful woman and a wonderful wife. But I tell my wife all the time, everybody can see my head is big. And sometimes, based on your reflection, you may think that, you know what? He got a big head. He must have a big brain. Believe me, trust me. You can trust me on that. My brain is so small. It's not because I've seen my brain. I never see my brain, but I can feel my brain so small. Any little thing that, I'm losing my head. Would you imagine that you married a woman, all she does is blah, 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 and you're here? Guess what? You're going to lose your head. And some people, they don't want drama. They will do anything. They will sacrifice anything to keep their peace. Even though they suffer. Even though it hurts. But they rather take the burden instead of chasing drama. That's what some people do. Your silence is strength. But some people, because you remain silent, they interpret your silence as permission. That means you open up the door for them. Because you don't want, because you stay silent, you don't want unnecessary conflict. You don't want to waste energy and foolishness, right? You trying to keep your peace. And also, you're thinking before reacting. That's why the people they believe are weak do. When they think you keep your silence because you're weak, but you are thinking before reacting because you're thinking of the severity of what can happen if you open up your mouth and lowering yourself to the same level with that person, what's gonna happen, the consequence, and you choose not to go with the drama and keep your peace because you have a brain. Bully have a brain, but they do not use it. I'm sorry to say that. If you're a bully, you're watching this program, I'm talking to you. You know, you have no clue. You have no idea how many people you put in a room, distance themselves from the family, especially kids who never have any experience in life to develop what you call a shield of protection. And you put in very bad thought to their heart, to their head, wanting to hurt themselves because you ruined their life and you want them dead. Some people think like it's whenever you get a gun and you shoot somebody, that's when you kill somebody. You don't have to kill somebody when you grab a gun and you shoot somebody. And everyday people killing people. A word you can say to someone based on remember, everybody is going to some tough time in life. Sometimes you think you're strong, you can carry a load, and sometimes you don't know how long the load's gonna last. It's just like a storm coming, right? When the hurricane come, you know, you can say, oh, it is in category 1, and you prepare for category 1. And you hold your ground, you stay strong, and guess what? That hurricane change on you, become category 2, category 3, and guess what? You only prepare for category 1, and guess what? Whatever energy, force, power you reserve for the storm to face the reality, guess what? It take you away. A lot of people going through some tough time, and sometimes coming to them instead of showing them that you love them, showing them that you care for them, showing that you know, they may not be welcome at home, but when they come to work, they need to feel that they're welcome. They may not be welcome at work. When they come home, their husband, their wife should welcome them, make them feel that they're welcome. And guess what? Some people go anywhere, they don't feel welcome. They go to work, they go to an adventure, they go to home, they go anywhere, they don't feel welcome. And these people sometimes have bad thought. They want to do things not because they choose to, but something's pushing them to the edge. Something is pushing them, and sometimes you can be the last one who finish with the reality. And a lot of bullying, a lot of people put some kids, like I said at the beginning of this program, right? There's over 4,400 people, kids, who kill themselves. You know, it is hard. Don't get me wrong. It is hard. You know, you got your kids. Sometimes the kids are not open to the parents. You know that. You know, you find sometimes kids, they're more open to the friend or somebody not close to them. They will tell them everything. I got my son, sometime I'm talking to him, right? I would ask him a question. I probably spend like 5-10 minutes asking him the same question. I remember I came from Boston. I was driving from Boston to Florida. Like maybe, I can't remember, but I think it was like maybe 18 and 19 hours. I drove the whole time. Not once we stopped at New Jersey and we slept there in a hotel. Then and again we keep driving, right? And the whole time I was talking to my son, he never opened up with me, but he opened up with mom. What I want to tell you about that is just some kids, they're not open to their parents. And when a kid is not open up to talk with his parent, right? And he does not have a good outside to talk to, he distances himself. The devil is evil. You all know exactly what I mean by that. And that kid is in a bad situation. Anything can happen. Why choose that route? Why being evil? Why do the devil work? Why not having a good world where everybody enjoy whatever they do in peace, with love and dignity? Why making someone else's life miserable of the way you treat them, showing no mercy, no love, or anything? Why? Believe me, I know people are dealing with tough time right now. Some people can't even eat. Some people can't even keep their home. Some people can't even, they don't even have a job. It is tough. But this, if love exists, trust me, you may not have money to live a better life like others. You may not have a home to sleep. But with love, everybody can live happily. But you don't have any of this, and you don't have love, and everybody is in the wrong place. Trust me, everybody is in the wrong place. Love is the only thing that can heal the disease this world is carrying over. It's only love. And when you find someone who love, when you find someone who respect, and when that person, right, feel that getting anything back and go silence because that person been bullied by others, treating like a trash by others. Sometimes, and this happen every day. To understand that quiet people are often the most dangerous people, but only the wise one recognize that. Believe me, when someone bullying somebody, the only thing they're thinking of is to mess up. Some people sometimes go to work or go to church or go wherever they go, right? I'm gonna change somebody's day. I'm gonna hurt somebody, and that's the only thing they have in it. But the wise recognize that and knows the quiet people are the most dangerous. I remember one time in my job, I was talking to a very long time ago, maybe 19 years ago or 18 years ago, I can't remember, but that was a very long time ago. As we were working together, and I was talking to the guy, and the guy told me that he's been in prison. He just got released. I think he shot somebody. I don't think he killed the person, but I think he shot somebody. Okay. Now he's telling me, he said his dad. He said, Jameson, my dad was a quiet person, right? He goes to work, he does what he's supposed to do, but every day he goes to work because he's quiet. People abuse him, they say bad things to him, they treat him like trash, and he never responds, he never say anything. Goes on for days and weeks and months and years. He tell me, Jameson, one day, he went to work. My dad went to work and started shooting people in the workplace and kill a lot of people. We're not preaching violence. What I want you to understand that there is a big difference between the people try to keep the peace, remain calm without God, and the one that keep the peace and try to remain calm with God. There's a big difference. It's just like someone who built a house without foundation. You know, it's someone that expecting a storm, but they expect the storm was going to last 3 days. They only carry food. But another one has unlimited food because, excuse me, when the storm going to last. There is a big difference. Who carried food or save food for 3 days. If the storm lasts 4 days, please tell me what the person's going to do. If the storm lasts exactly what the storm gonna do. That is the big difference. Sometimes you intend to hold your peace, but remember, you have no foundation. You have no you don't have a constructed life. And the only way to get a constructed life is when you allow Jesus to enter your heart and become whole. And now you can play wise. There's a big difference. You can play wise, and everybody, this guy seems nice. It is not the same thing as if someone got God live into his heart. It's a fake one. When you show that wisdom, it is not the same. It's the world one. The one that you try to keep your peace. You try, to keep your job. Sometimes there is things that you put in place. That's why I'm not doing these kind of things. I'm not doing this kind of stupid thing. There's the thing you put in place. But the one that has unlimited food, because God is his foundation, it's not going to be up to him with his force, with his power, to stand still in the moment and the storm. But God's going to hold him in place day after every hour, because God is his foundation. That guy, you would think, like me, go to work every day, and guess what? He never invite Jesus in his heart. All this quietness, all this thing he was doing, being calm and everything, he was doing that within his power. But remember, we don't have power. Everything we can do without God is only for a short period of time. And after that, once you let go, you're not going to be able to hold your ground. It's going to take you away. That was this guy. And one day, after he does this act, right? And he called a church, a Catholic church, right? And he asked them, he told them exactly what he did. And he told them, if the cop find me, they're going to shoot me. I killed too many people. Please, can you turn me in? And he went to that church. The priest called the cop and take the guy in. That's what happened. When you don't have a good foundation. But someone with a good foundation, you don't explode. You disappear. Disappearing is more powerful than arguing with someone. But immature people don't understand that until it's too late. Let's talk a little bit about silence without a boundary become self-betrayal. There's a there's a big difference between choosing peace and allowing disrespect. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between self-discipline, hate, and boundaries. Life is full of surprises that intend to shape us in the right moment. Everything in life happens for a reason. There are lessons we took and learned from understanding of upcoming future. If everything happening in your life goes neglected, you will never grow. You'll never grow. A bad experience is not necessary hate, but an indicator not to repeat the same mistake from the past. And allow you to cure that bad experience from the past and prevent it from reoccurring in the future. And your self-discipline will allow you to set the boundaries. More often, we misinterpret the parable of Jesus about when Matthew 5, verse 38 and 39. When he talk about turning over the other cheek. Some misinterpret that verse. If someone slap you, you need to turn the other side and let him slap you again. And then after he slap you, then what happened? You turn the other one again and slap you until he finish up with. Jesus say no. Interpret the verse. When you turn over the other cheek, it means that what they call fight is what we call silence. What they call hate, we call it love. When they persecute us, then we pray for them. That's what it is about. And another thing is never allow someone with evil intention into your life. If you had a bad relationship, draw a line. Let's take a pause. We'll be right back.
Hallelujah.
We are going to read for you a few verse in Matthew 5, verse 38 and 39. Let's read together. He said that you have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. If we want to read it in French, mais moi je vous dis de ne pas résister aux méchants. No. Let me read the first one. Il dit, vous avez appris qu'il a été dit, œil pour œil et dent pour dent. Mais moi, je vous dis de ne pas résister aux méchants. Si quelqu'un te frappe sur la joue droite, présente-lui aussi l'autre. C'est verset ça, nous appelons pour nous avons plusieurs autres versets encore pour nous lire, mais pour qu'on y aille, on a continué avec un sujet. Et pour tout le monde, si vous faites brancher, qui a parlé de silence is not fear. For a lot of people who have a bad experience and where people treat them differently than the way they treat, and you don't get the same treatment. And I know exactly how difficult that can be for you. So, as we just read in Matthew, on the other cheek, it meant for those who believe that Jesus meant to say that when someone slap you on the left, right, and slap you again on the right, turn the left, and then believe me, in this world you live in, there will be no cheek left. They'll take the whole thing. But that's not exactly what it meant. Turning over the other cheek meant when somebody, when they call what fight, and you stay silent, you call it silence. Trust me, if someone ready to fight me, right? Start pulling his shirt, getting ready to fight, and I stay quiet and I stay still, who's gonna fight? You can't fight someone who's not fighting. You're gonna embarrass yourself. So if fight gotta be an agreement or whatever, a consentment between two people. That one is ready, and the fight goes on. And if this side is ready to fight, and guess what? And it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And whatever you call hate, we call it love. Whenever someone persecutes you, you don't go on your knee and ask God, hey, God, you see how he's treating me? You see what he's doing to me? All the bad word or bad thing he's done. Please, God, let him get in the car and have the car flip with him. No, this is not what we ask. We pray for them. That's what Jesus said. Pray for them. But one thing you understand, never allow someone with evil intention into your life. If you know someone's coming, that person, let me give you a quick example. If I'm your friend and I invite someone in my house, and that person come and destroy my marriage, destroy my life completely, my marriage with my wife, that person split apart, right? And you're my friend, you do not learn from that mistake and you take that same person into your home, when you can help that person the other way, you choose not to. You can put that on God. And that's why it's good to learn from others. When something happens, it doesn't happen to you. We need to learn what happened from others and learn that lesson so you can protect yourself. Never do not one with evil spirit into your life and to your family's life. If you experience a bad relationship, you need to draw a line. There are people coming your way, the intention, they are leech. I believe you all know what a leech is. It's a little animal, you know, and they call them like a bloodsucker. Or in French, you can call them sensu. En créole, vous avez dit sensu. En pile haïtien comme ça les sensu. Depuis me dit sensu haïtien comme ça les sensu. Eh bien, there is people you into your life, they're coming to drain you, to finish you. They are coming to suck your life out of your body. They are sent to empty you out completely. They will not leave until they are through with you. Spiritually, mentally, physically, and economically. You call these people destroyer. Destroyer. They are sender. They had a mission, and their mission is to erase you completely. And they are here for a reason. You need to control your inner circle. You need to control that. Control who you would allow in that circle. You don't let anybody in that circle. That's your line of defense. That's your line of defense. And right now, your silence is protecting your emotion. But it's also allowing people to cross line. They should even approach. But when the time comes that happens, you don't even need to yell. You don't even need to fight. You don't need to explain yourself. You just need a clear boundary. Speaking calmly and once. Because your peace, it's your force. It's your power. It's what keep you standing, keep you moving, keep you going. And let me tell you, if staying quiet give you peace, that tell me something more important about you. That tell me that your silence is not fear. For those who believe your silence is fear, it's not. Because your peace is very important for you, and that's what keep you going. And your silence is not also a weakness. It is a choice. A deliberate one, a disciplined one, a spiritual one. People who don't understand that people who don't understand themselves react and they respond. Because your peace is your power. Let me read you for you a few other verses. Proverbs 17 verse 28. Il dit, even a fool, when he of death, his pace is counted wise, and he that shuddered his lip is esteemed a man of understanding. En français, on appelait, il dit, l'insensé même, quand il se tait, passe pour sage. Celui qui ferme ses lèvres est un homme intelligent. L'insensé, même monde qui est insensé, tellement pour moto, comme si silence, si on force qu'il y ait, même monde qui n'a pas droit là, Jules t'a choisi pour te zèle, pour faire silence, il passe pour un sage. Pendant ce temps, il n'y a pas sage. Dans Exode 14, verset 14, dans tout le verset ça, il dit, I'm sorry, he said that Exodus 14, verse 14, he said, the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Il dit, l'Éternel combattra pour vous, et vous gardez le silence. Il y a un pile verset qui montre nous, Jean pour nous gommer. Et pas l'ouvert, it is not when you open up your mouth and you choose that fight and that determine you're going to win. Because you lower yourself to the same level like them. You don't need to go that low. And Lamentation 3, verset 26, il dit, it is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Il est bon d'attendre en silence le secours de l'Éternel. And the last verse, nous joignons Jacques ou James 1, verse 19. Il dit, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. En français, il dit, sachez-le, mes frères bien-aimés, ainsi que tout homme soit prompt à écouter, lent à parler et lent à se mettre en colère. Your silence is not surrender. It is self-control. Some people speak to win. Some people speak to hurt. You stay quiet to protect your inner world. That's not weakness. That's mastery. You're choosing peace over ego, clarity over chaos, and dignity over noise. You are not avoiding conflict. You are avoiding unnecessary conflict. You are not scared of confrontation. You're just not interested in pointless battle. You have learned that. Not every disrespect deserves a reaction. Not every provocation deserves your energy. Not every person deserve access to your emotion. Because some people, that's what they're trying to do. They try to break you. They try to get inside of you, to control you. They want to take control. Remember, you, the only one that can open up a door to let someone inside of you, to control you. You're the only one who has the key. And some people, they are after the key. Once you let the man, they take control. They know what to say to upset you. They know what to say to control you. They know what to say to put tears to your eyes. They know what to say to make you want to give up life. They understand that game. But don't play the game with them, because you don't want to go to the same level they went. When they go low, you need to fly high, because we are not the same person. Always stay in control and remain calm. Trust me, there is a faith there is the faith for this bully. Everything that has a beginning and has an end. All the death they cause in each year because they choose to get into somebody else's head and change their day, change their week, change their month, change the year. And also, it gets to a point that person say, you know what, I'm done with life. They have their faith. Trust me. It's coming. Their plan is to hurt people instead of spreading love, is to hurt instead of spreading love, is to destroy. Trust me. They're going to get what's coming for them. But trust me, if you're in a situation, you feel that you're about to break, there's one person that can keep you standing. If you're in a situation that you feel that it's over, it isn't over. It's over. It's only when God say it's over. It isn't over. It's not up to you to say it's over. You're not going to give up. You're not going to let them win. You're still in control. And all you got to do, give it up to God and let God take control. And your life will never be the same. Always feel above the situation you're in. And if it gets to a point that you feel like sadness is coming into your life, you feel that, desperation is coming into your life, you feel that, you know what, you don't need to be here anymore, give God a chance to try. Have you tried him yet? Have you allowed him into your life? Have you given him a chance? At least you try everywhere else. You try friends, you try everywhere else. Have you tried God? Have you allowed him into your life and give him a chance to see exactly how your life is gonna be? Believe me, change will come once you open up to God, once you release yourself to him, once you give up your life to God. Change gonna happen. Your life will never be the same. You're gonna have a better foundation, and people will not get into your life and break you because you're gonna be strong, and God will be your foundation. May God bless you. Nous remercions tout le monde qui a fait choix pour être capable ensemble avec nous aujourd'hui. Ne pas oublier semaine là. Nous venons faire. Qui sont des faits de positif avant semaine en même temps. Remember, you can do something good, something memorable before the weekend. Marie, aimez madame. Madame, aimez Marie. C'est le serviteur Jameson Jean-Baptiste qui vous aime. À la prochaine dans l'autre émission Mass Giver. Que le Seigneur vous bénisse.